Yo, this is the Can't Finish FC podcast. We're here at our headquarters at Futsal and Knee in New Bedford. Check it out. Link in the description for Instagram. All these jerseys, all available. We're gonna be having a bunch of different content. We're gonna have this podcast. We're gonna have IRL soccer, YouTube video soccer content. We're gonna have special guests on podcasts, coaches, players. We're gonna be talking about real life footy, like professional. We're gonna be talking Champions League, La Liga, etc., Benfica, Sporting, CV, Guatemala, everything you could think of. Uh, Pro Clubs content, of course, got to get that in there. And
on three, let's say it. Where's Pro Clubs
all right, ready? Three, two, one, Gio. Oh, yo, it's Ari. Some refer to me as Captain Ari. I've been playing soccer since I was 3 years old. Started at the Pawtucket Youth Soccer Association, worked it up from there. Blackwatch, NEFC. Now I'm going to my senior year at Rhode Island College. Check us out this year, The teams I support, not in order. Barca, Arsenal, Benfica. Clearly see there's something in common with all those teams. Amazing footy. The best footy. Like, you can't get better than that, you know? And my hot take is if Hakimi didn't exist, Jurian Timber would be the best right back in the world. Okay? That's it.
All right, guys. So my name's Gio, one of the podcasters on Can't Finish. So I started playing soccer when I was 6 years old. Started off rec league, then went to Pawtucket Storm, then played at Bruno for a year or two, and then now I'm at higher level. I'm currently a senior at Mount, and my three teams I support: Arsenal, Real, and Benfica. Class footy around the board. And one of my hot takes is Arsenal's winning the Champions League, boys.
What's good, guys? It's the Edson here. Some call me Lo, some call me Lo Zinu, and I'm one of the host podcasters on this great podcast. Can't Finish. Nothing bigger than that badge right there. Started playing footy from a young age. Pawtucket Storm, Bruno, higher level, all over Rhode Island. Honestly, just runs and all that. Last season I was with Worcester State University. Calm low season. Played UPSL, all that good stuff. To the best part, teams I support: Sporting, biggest club in Portugal; Manchester United, third biggest club in the world. Get that right. Hot take. I got a few. Jokic is the best striker in the world. Manchester United is winning Europa League. That's not a hot take. That's just fact. Manchester United is finishing top 3 next year. Sporting is gonna win 3 titles in the next 5 years. All right, yeah, that's it.
My name's Tommy Rosa. Can't Finish here today. Most of y'all know me as this Tommy, of course. I started playing soccer. I actually started playing pretty late compared to most people. I always played soccer, but like for fun, never really took it serious. And like I would say like my 10th grade year or like my end of freshman year of high school, I went to like a tryout with a friend just for fun. Just because he was going, I decided to go. And one coach there, he saw me, he liked me there, and I just kept playing footy there. The clubs I've played for growing up were most of my years were at Bruno. Y'all know it as Scorpions now. After that, I moved to Juventus Boston Academy. Now it's known as like IFA or something like that. And now I currently play club at higher level, U23. The college I currently attend is Rhode Island College. I'm going into my 3rd year. And of course, I don't got to say too much. Team I support, Spurs. But my main team, of course, is Benfica. For y'all that know me, y'all know that. But outside of Portugal, this is a team I support. My hot take right now is if you watch footy, if you're a real footy watcher, if you watch soccer for real, and you know who Lucas Bergvall is, you know he's going to be top 5 midfielders in the next 5 years. If you don't know who he is yet, Go do your research on him. Kobe Manu was not better.
What's up, guys? The Can't Finish podcast, episode number 1. Today we're here with
Lozine.
Gio.
Tommy.
and we'll be discussing Champions League semifinals, how the Prem's looking, how La Liga's looking, and why Benfica will win the Portuguese league.
Why Benfica will not win the Portuguese league? But
Who wants to start it off?
So, should we
I
start
think
off? Premier
start
League?
off. I think gotta go with the big one. I'm not a Glazer. You know, Manu on top, but Real Madrid, Arsenal. That was a good game. I think we should
All right.
recap. We got the Arsenal fans here.
Wait. Let's start off with the non-Arsenal fans. What did you guys think of the game?
I grabbed that. If I'm being honest, like I said, I'm a realist. Arsenal deserved to go through. Real Madrid, you could just see they have a bunch of guys that want to score. Vinny, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Perigo, but they don't want to defend. Got hit on the counter attack multiple times. And yeah, from the jump, Arsenal just had control. Declan Rice showed he's somewhat of a good midfielder. Bruno's better.
Declan Bumbo Clot Rice.
Nah, but all troll aside though, Arsenal deserved it. They're gonna get touched by PSG, but that's next topic.
Don't.
What do you think from like a neutral's perspective and
Okay.
crosstown rival?
Yup. Okay, so for those that know me, before anything, I'm a big Spurs fan. Before anything, I'm a soccer fan first. So like when it comes to like soccer opinions, I try to keep it non-biased. And what I think of the game, watching it, was Arsenal executed it perfectly, playing against Real Madrid. I'm glad a lot of people thought Arsenal was going to come to the Bernabeu and just defend. And I'm glad they didn't, because for a lot of the game, they just looked very dominant.
Facts.
And Real looked like they were playing at like Camp Nou or something like that. But yeah, like I like how Arsenal played. They were in control, I would say, for most of the game. A player that really surprised me was Lewis Skelly. I knew he was good, but like
Baller.
he's
By
just a baller. You know, coming from the academy, playing the 6 and the 8, and then getting moved to that inverted left back role. I think it's really made Arsenal better. And
I think too, not to cut you off, what Saka did to Alaba should be abuse. He was, I don't want to say put it in him the whole game, but that's what he was doing.
It's okay.
He was torturing Alaba. Alaba might have to retire. Saka, I think, has proved that he's world class. I'm gonna be honest.
Top 3 right wing.
He's world class. Yeah, he proved it. What he was doing with that pen, I don't know, but he scored after, so it don't matter. But Tom, continue.
Okay, as I was saying, Lewis Skelly, for me, he was like the player that really stood out. Like, he's very press resistant for his age, very physical. Like, you could tell, like, nobody.
Wagon plus.
Big Bunda.
By the way, for those that know Leo, he's Mr. Wagon plus.
Mr. Wagon.
If you
himself,
played
right
with him.
here.
But yeah, and I would say the 3 main players that stood out for me for Arsenal was Lewis Skelly, Timber, and Declan Rice. Bro, speaking about art, like good about Arsenal, like, it just it
I'm
hurts.
with you, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, this hurts to like
I'm
say
with
good
you.
things about Arsenal, but you know, as a soccer fan, you gotta
Facts.
give respect where respect is due. And with Real Madrid, it's just it's too unbalanced.
I got a question. It's about Real Madrid. Where do you guys think, because Real Madrid fan, where does Real go from there? You know, there's talk Ancelotti won't be there next season. So what's the direction? Like, do you get? I've been hearing Klopp, Xabi Alonso,
Yeah,
or Ancelotti's son, no? Right?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of Klopp. I think Klopp would be a great addition, but right now, I don't think it's the manager. Right now, I think we have some selfless ballers who are just, just not thinking about the team. Selfish. I meant to say my fault. But yeah, like you can just tell right away, like they just don't want to play as a team, and that was a perfect demonstration against Arsenal. You know, it sucked to see a team that I root for also, but Arsenal just going all the way through. Boys just coming in crazy.
Fair. I guess we could go now to the Arsenal lads. You know, big dubs.
You know what
big
they say?
dubs.
is going down. I'm yelling timber.
But yeah, but I think what Tommy said to echo on what Tommy said, Timber, Skelly, and Declan Rice, Bomboclat, Declan Rice, were probably one of the best 3 players in between both legs for Arsenal.
In between both legs.
Pause.
Grown ass.
Pause.
Grown ass.
We already know Declan, Jollof, Rice.
Larry, the mic on your hand.
Rice and peas.
Rice and peas.
Rice and peas.
You get me?
Solid. My goat. Legend. Cemented himself as one of the best midfielders in the world.
Whoa, he's world class.
Gravy.
Okay, after that,
I don't know.
after those
the
2
performance.
performances,
He's world class already?
He outperformed Valverde, Bellingham, Camavinga, Modric, any Arsenal. We're not even gonna talk about the Arsenal. He outperformed the whole Real midfield.
2 man of the matches in
Yeah,
2
but,
games.
World class is like you have to do that for a while. I'm not saying he hasn't been doing it. Like he was decent at West Ham, Arsenal. He's been good, but
He's good for England.
he is.
Yeah.
okay, and yeah, like before we move on, also like Real Madrid top club,
Yeah.
that just shouldn't happen. I feel like this summer it has to be a big summer for them. There's players that have to go, and there's players that have to be brought in. The back line, it's
Needs
not
a change. Yeah.
Atrocious.
And we seen like since like last year, since Toni Kroos has left. By the way, if y'all didn't know, it's my favorite player of all time. Since he left, they just lost that ballast in there, and I feel like this summer they really need to bring in a ball playing midfielder. Someone that could control the game for them. And I feel like they just have like too many engines in the midfield and not like a brain that just controls everything for them. So bringing in a player like I would say like Zubimendi is someone that I'm thinking about would help them a lot. Or
I agree.
Rodri.
So I
Yeah,
got
so
a
like
Rodri won't go down.
All right. So I got one question before we move on to the Inter Bayern game. What's one player that Arsenal and Real should sign? Like obviously not like both of them, but like you know what I mean.
Okay, in my opinion, I feel like budget-wise, a player Arsenal could bring in, not even just budget-wise, but a player that I think Arsenal should really bring in, that I'm a fan of, but I just don't think he's playing at like a big club right now, so he doesn't really stand out. Like I said, Zubimendi. For Arsenal, I'm gonna be honest, like their team's very solid right now, but I do think they could bring in a 9, like a goal scoring 9, and they could bring in someone like Alexander Isak, who if you watch ball, like
150.
You think? Yeah, I was gonna say. You think Arsenal's gonna slap 150?
150.
Because we also need like other
These
positions.
guys are
too.
kind of cheap now.
You get Gyökeres.
Yeah.
That is true. I mean,
Yeah. So mine would probably be, one is, it's not really a buy, but bringing Nico back from Como.
Nico Paz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Bringing the Loney back for Real Madrid. That's gonna be a key, and then
have him come off the bench.
yeah. I think that would be a key. And then for Arsenal, I feel like we need to sign a 9. And, he doesn't play at a club I like, but Gyökeres, just
Best
class.
man in the world.
Just class striker, man.
Best man in the
I think
world.
we need him. And I don't want to pay more than 80 for him, so,
What? Okay.
yeah.
Arsenal. I signed Isak, but 150 mil is asking insane.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
It's
a
that
lot.
England tax.
That's a record now. Like
That has to be a prem record.
150.
I think Coutinho was close to that.
Yeah.
But he,
Great player, but I don't know about-
He left. Yeah.
So like, if we're talking about the price included, I'd rather go for Gyökeres for like quick little 85, 90. I don't know about the 100 because
Yeah.
Yeah, Gyökeres is
And
top player. Even
Real?
though I hate that club, Gyökeres is a top player.
How about for Real?
Real hate that club.
Yeah, he was Barca.
If I was supposed to sign for someone for Real, it'd be mad unrealistic. But probably a 6. Probably Rodri, but that would never happen.
Wait, is that unrealistic though?
I don't know.
Real Madrid,
They gotta pull the leg.
Yeah, they have the pull, and
Play
Rodri's
for
done
Atletico.
everything at Man City, you know? It's like one more he got to prove.
Treble.
Let me go chill in my hood in Spain.
Fair.
Alright.
So what do you think,
I go
Leo?
with Rodri.
Alright.
For Arsenal.
So Arsenal, number 1, Gyökeres is a 100 mil player. That's all I'm gonna say. If Isak's 150, why can't Gyökeres be? And people's gonna say, oh, it's the Portuguese league, this, that, and the third. But you guys don't watch it every week. He's actually manhandling these center backs, bro. Like, physically, he is overpowering these center backs. But yeah, Gyökeres, I could see at Arsenal. I wouldn't want him to leave Sporting, of course. But let's be honest, players use Sporting as like a stepping stone.
Yeah.
So realistically, he's gonna leave. We're gonna win the league this year. It'll be his 2nd or 3rd league or something like that. So yeah, Arsenal. I'll say Gyökeres or Williams. Nico Williams. I'm thinking of his
Yeah,
brother.
that's a good shot. That's a good shot.
Nico Williams. I think on the left he'll complement kind of like Saka's more techy.
Yeah.
But Nico got that
More that
pace, you know.
dynamic.
And for Real Madrid, this might be unrealistic, might not. Saliba, they need that center back. Like, they just need that number 1 center back. I think Rudiger's getting old. Militao's prone to injury. And yeah, that's my picks.
Okay.
Oh, before we move on, by the way, I got one more like question to you guys. Like, knowing Trent is coming to Real, knowing Trent is coming to Real, that I think that also like brings in a question of what type of player like do you bring in to like complement him? Because as we've seen, what's his name? Trent. He's gonna get fried most of the time when he plays up against like
And think about it.
a good like winger. So like, does the new coach play him as like
A midfielder.
like a more as a inverted role, which change like the structure of like the midfielder they want to bring in next to him, or do they just keep him as a right back and do what he did in the past? Like, what was it like when him and Robertson both played on their sides and they just racked up assists?
Yeah.
So that's really a question.
But like, because if you watch the Arsenal game against Real Madrid, Vasquez was getting torched too, right? By Martinelli, who is top 5 worst wingers of all time.
All time. All time.
Yeah.
All time is a little stretch because this past month he's been.
Can we agree he's not that good? Can we just be honest?
Okay, he's dropped off.
fast.
He's dropped off this season, but like
he's
the past month, that goal to just
You see
end
what he
off
did?
Real at the Bernabeu.
That's all he
90
could
minutes
do.
of Ramontada.
That's
Fuck
all he
that.
could
He
do.
thinks he's in the movie.
Yeah, bro. Yo, that is. Yo, who's making an edit out of that?
Yeah,
Who's
come on.
making
It's
an
clip farming. Nah, but I think if Trent goes, like Tommy said, defensively, they're gonna get found out. Rodrigo, the attack, they're not defending. Let's be honest. Mbappe's not defending. Vinny's not defending. Rodrigo's not defending. So Trent's gonna get cooked. Imagine they go up against an overlapping wing back. Now they 2v1. They're gonna put it in him.
I hope you guys don't think like we're trying to like slander Trent.
Not
'Cause
yet.
as a ball playing player, he is.
Class.
Oh yeah, by the
He's
way, yeah,
technically
make
class.
that clear. Make that clear. Yeah, we're making that clear.
Yeah.
We don't think Trent is a bad player. I think he's a world class player. If
is
you
on the
watch him
ball.
play on the ball, like going forward, when they're in the attack, he's a player that could pick out a pass from anywhere in the field.
Make something happen.
Like, yeah, he could make something happen, and I feel like that's what Real Madrid really needed. Like
in certain moments.
in certain moments,
But
yeah.
do they need it from right back? The right back
That's the
position.
question.
That's the problem, though.
But then also, if you look at it at like, because if we're being honest, like, look, like Real Madrid right now is like, other than like the result that just happened or how they've been doing recently, they're like Real Madrid is considered pinnacle of football right now for most people. We're talking about like financial wise as well. Like
Yeah.
for like you gotta think about Trent's career. Liverpool's his boyhood club, but at the end of the day, it comes down to him. Like he's accomplished what he's had to accomplish in the Premier League, and he's won a lot, almost everything with Liverpool. I think he's not looking at it as, oh, I'm going there because, you know, I'm not doing good at Liverpool, but more as if, like, I want a new challenge. I want to, you know, be able to do it with
the best.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
I just want to say also, Real Madrid fans, I never want to hear remontada ever again. That was, you managed to out-cringe Arsenal. I've never seen that before. Never have I ever seen a team out-cringe Arsenal. What was it, 127 remontadas, 27 movies, something like that.
What was the edit I kept seeing when the players were walking out of the interview? Oh, you think the remontada could happen? And they're all like shaking it, but they're probably not even listening to him. Like, they're just clip for
I get it. You
what
guys
does
had
pinnacle
comments
mean?
before, but G was asking for a dictionary.
What
does pinnacle mean?
I might have used the wrong word, but if we're looking at Real Madrid, a lot of football fans, you know, I would say myself as well, consider them as the top dogs. I mean,
I got a question. Because moving on to Inter,
In the Bayern, yeah.
there's a player, Ari Ben, try to, you know, talk up and like say he's cold, and I low-key wasn't hearing it, but I have to give him flowers. I think you know who I'm talking about. Lautaro Martinez.
Oh,
I think people be saying all the time there's no more good nines and all that, but I think he has it all as a 9. Like, he smells goals,
Very dynamic.
ball to feet, he's a baller.
Good take.
When he's bad, he's bad. Like,
That's true.
when he's bad,
But
like,
when he's on,
he's
he's nice.
world class. He's done it on the biggest stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't
And,
take it away from him.
No,
and I
Was he
think,
top scorer of Copa America
yeah, some would say he deserves Ballon d'Or.
last year? I said that I'm not gonna.
He had the stats, the
I said
trophies.
he should have been top 3.
stats and trophies.
Okay,
I
so
give him that.
now we have a questionable debate here now. Is it company out or what?
Oh,
You know,
I think
out of the quarterfinals with Bayern standards,
No.
you know,
No.
you give him another season.
No,
Right?
I don't think company's out. If you've been watching Bayern, especially in the league, and how they've been playing, you can't say that because they've been playing great soccer. Stop trolling. They've been playing great soccer, and they fell short to Inter Milan, but
Kane had chances though.
they've had
Yeah.
chances. They've
But
had
if you really like watch,
because he played for that club. So.
if you really
Oh shit.
if you really watch Inter play, like defensively there, I would
Solid.
say for Barca, I'm not a Barca fan. I'm neutral in Spain with Real and Barca and all that. Like I said, if y'all didn't know, I just support Spurs and Benfica, and that's it. But if you watch Inter play, they're a hard team to like break down. I think they only conceded like 5 goals so far in the Champions League. If I'm not correct, y'all could like
Haram FC.
yeah.
I think
that
too,
3-back
though.
is criminal.
I think what their manager is it Inzaghi?
Inzaghi, yeah.
I think he deserves his flowers too as one of the top managers in today's game. Because ever since he's been there, Inter have been at the top. You know,
The
they're
way-
always competing.
The
and
way
all that.
their center backs are just like involved with every play almost.
Bastoni.
And if
Class.
you guys watched their games this year with Barca and Arsenal, they both played almost perfect against Inter. Like they did what they had to do, but that back line and their structure is just it's Italy football.
Yeah,
like
it is Italy
it's
football.
Italy defending it. You know, like how teams in Italy defend. They're like very hard to break down.
Yeah. All right. So now going on to one that's obviously was gonna come up, the Aston Villa and PSG tie.
I think the tie of the semis or quarters.
Quarters, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best tie there is. Like,
Yeah.
best two.
Yeah, I feel like Aston Villa's made those 2 key signings with Asensio and
Yeah,
Rashford. That's just been so key for their season. and
Morgan Rogers too has been balling.
yeah. And then
Jacob Ramsey, I like both of them.
yeah,
That's
but
been
onto
balling.
PSG
They
though.
came up with a formula how to beat PSG. Like,
That's not
if
easy.
you have a more physical midfield that can outrun them, they're gonna struggle. with
Yeah,
that.
because
And that PSG middle three is
like let's talk about the PSG middle three. That's where I wanted to get at. That midfield is probably like I would say one of the best midfields in the world right now.
Question.
If not.
Is Vintia better than Pedri?
No.
Pedri
Pedri's the best player in the world right now. In my opinion, this
Pedri
might
Ballon d'Or.
this might also be a hot take, but in my opinion, Pedri's the best player in the world right now.
Wait, but what does?
No.
Wait, but.
wait.
Nah, he's trolling. He's
yeah.
We good? You straight?
We're good, boys.
He's good. Tommy's good.
Alright. So, wait, but.
Please don't do that again, bro. That's your last one, bro.
He's about to smack you in the mouth.
Don't do that shit again, bro.
Wait, so it's Arsenal PSG, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, who has a better midfield, PSG or Arsenal?
I feel like on paper, just PSG, but the way like we didn't even get to mention him, underrated, Thomas Partey. Probably close to man of the match in both legs.
Yeah, he's solid.
And you know, that could be a hot take right there, but and then also we're going unmentioned Desiree Doué for PSG, and that front three is getting very underestimated. Well, not underestimated, but
What
That's ball. He's ball.
yeah.
Straight ball.
Going back to his question though, like you can't even say which midfield is better. Like it just depends on what you would prefer. One that would control, not really physically gifted, but like I say the Arsenal one's like more overall, like better balanced.
And a bit more experience, because if you look at that midfield
Yeah.
three, I think the average age is about 21, maybe. I think.
You know how you mentioned do it?
Yeah.
You know how you mentioned do it? Let's be honest. Timber dealt with Vinny. Is do it really gonna?
No, but
But-
Vinny's
but-
been-
Yeah, but
But
This year.
Vinny is Vinny.
yeah,
And then
he can make
Other-
stuff happen.
I'm not gonna lie though. Other side, Miles Skelly. If he don't play his cards right, Usman Dembele will fry him. I'm not gonna lie.
But I think like he's played against decent
He
wingers.
has, but Dembele this season, if it goes right, he could be in talk for Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, Ballon d'Or, yeah.
Because 2024 he was in, 2025 came.
Not yet.
But I feel like that also depends on how PSG want to play, because they have seen him at the 9 this year. So you know,
Yeah, like a false
and I
nine.
feel like I would be not taking away nothing from Barcola, but I feel like Barcola off the right would be I would feel a bit more safer with Lewis Skelly there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we're also forgetting I forgot to say his name.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Just think of
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
Kvara's
lie.
really
You
dynamic.
saw his goal?
Yeah, his
When
near
cut
post.
inside, ball roll, left.
Yeah.
That's,
Bro, and it's
that's
like
dud.
it's scary, like seeing that they have PSG has weapons. Like I'm talking weapons coming off the bench. They have Gonçalo Ramos, came from Benfica, by the way. Baller.
Mediocre.
He's
Kiss it.
not kissing. though. I respect it. Though. I'm not-
Barcola too, who's been coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Because Duez.
Yeah, Barcola coming off the bench, and let's not forget, what's the Asian kid?
Lee
the
King.
10, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, he's
They have
proper baller
ballers,
too.
yeah, they
Proper
have
baller.
ballers.
But yeah, like with that matchup with PSG and Arsenal, I'm really excited to see that battle of the midfield, because PSG, they have a very technical, talented midfield, but I don't know if they've played a midfield that physical, especially with like Party and Rice in there. Did it die? It died.
Is your
It's alright, we can.
Yeah, it's all.
Alright.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
fine. A little mess up. Yeah, we're good. So the next thing, I don't know, what are you doing?
Now I was gonna say though, score predictions. 2 legs. Who goes
Okay,
through?
What'd you say?
Oh.
take that shit away from
Yeah,
you.
let's get our predictions for
Score predictions.
Fine.
Swear. It's a bet.
So PSG Arsenal. I think I got PSG going through. I don't like Arsenal. Arsenal shit. PSG's gonna go through. I think their firepower up front is just gonna be too much to handle. Saliba has been meaty not meaty, but he hasn't been the Saliba we are used to seeing. Kewer, whatever his name is, he might be top.
He might get touched.
Worst center backs I've ever seen in my
Here
life.
we go.
I'm not gonna lie.
Here we go. He's the one defender that didn't make a mistake in the Real and Arsenal.
Bro, he's pretty bad though. I've seen Gyökeres move to him like bad, but nah, I got PSG going through. Honestly though, I got them going through on pens. Nothing crazy, just on pens. I think it's gonna be high scoring both games.
What about the other side?
The Barca.
Oh,
we didn't
Barca.
even get to really talk about the Barca Dortmund game, but to be honest,
There's nothing really.
we didn't get to talk about the Barca Dortmund game, but
It just shows how
nothing
good
against
Pedri is.
Dortmund, I mean, but it just shows how good Barca is this year, especially with
Yeah.
that first leg. Barca, like, you guys watched the game, totally
They stood no
dominated.
chance.
Dominated. Second leg, they had Pedri on the bench. I don't think they were that worried about Dortmund, to be
Lamin's
honest.
best player in the world too, by the way. Best player in the
Well,
world, officially.
If
I
y'all
think.
can hear Leo, he
Lamin's the best player in the world. That's. I think Convo's done about that. He's best player.
okay. So I would say I agree with that. Like, it's for me, it's Pedri or Lamine. Even people try to say, oh, he's only 17, but like take the age. Like, you imagine you first time watching Lamine play. Like, no one tells you his age. You just watch him play.
Like a grown man.
Come on, like grown. Like Sharif said, we're definitely gonna have Sharif on here probably. Yeah, like you would say, grown ass man. But yeah, and by the way, I like to talk about on Dortmund's team, Adeyemi. He definitely deserves a big move. I would love if he goes to Spurs. I would love for that to happen. But yeah, Adeyemi, top player.
What are your predictions for the two semifinal ties?
For semifinals, I think PSG goes through. Nothing against you Arsenal fans, but it's just they just have so much, like, they just have so many weapons, and I love their midfield. I love watching Vitinha. If y'all watch Vitinha this year, he really surprised me. I didn't think he was that good, but watching him play this year, the way he like dictates everything and can pick up the ball from defenders, and you also see him high up the field, dictating up there. So yeah, I think PSG go through, and
He is dicking it up.
why is he doing that? Why is he doing that?
Why is he laughing?
I just.
Sorry, I'm getting over.
And then for the other game,
Barca.
Barca and Inter. I think Barca goes through, even though I think it's gonna be a tough game for them, especially with that, like I said, Inter structure. It's gonna be hard to break, and I feel like as long as they contain Lautaro Martinez, who's like probably like their top guy, and also like underrated player in their teams like Barella and
Thuram's hurt too, by the way.
Who?
Marcus Thuram.
Oh, Thuram.
Thuram, yeah,
Injured,
Thuram's
injured.
been pretty good, and what's the other guy's name? Çalhanoğlu. I mean, he has
yeah.
experience, but I really think he's a good player. But I think Barca goes through.
Yeah, so I think for the two semifinals, I know Arsenal will go through. Heard it here first, and I think all right, it's gonna hurt to say, but Barca, they've just been unstoppable this year. Really, really good. So all right. Fuck Barca, but yeah, yeah, I think that's what happens. Come as we
I think we're getting an Arsenal and Barca final. Arsenal goes through 4-2 aggregate score. Barca
I was thinking that.
3-1 aggregate score. I feel like they're gonna struggle to score, but there could be a game where Barca just scores one and they just keep going, don't stop, because that's just how they've been this whole year. But I think they go through 3-1 aggregate. And
Do you think Lamine is the best player in the world?
I think Pedri's the best player in the world.
Okay,
I
fair.
think he deserves Ballon d'Or. I know Rafinha is getting all the shouts, goals.
yeah.
He reached 60 GA today, first time since Messi. Like,
Wait, Rafinha?
Numbers.
Yeah.
He reached 60.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know that.
he reached
That's
60
crazy.
GA today in the remontada.
Bro,
Crazy remontada.
Mike is dying.
And yeah,
Mike is dying.
Mike is dying.
That's my prediction. Mike's dying.
That was
Catch you
30
guys
minutes.
next week.
That was a long time.
This is Champions League. We'll be back with Prem, Portuguese League,
Europa.
Europa. Don't do that.
This is Can't
Got each
Finish
other.
FC. See you guys.
And by the way, before we leave, tap into futsal. If you don't know
Jerseys.
already. If you
We're at
don't
the
know already.
facility.
If you don't know already,
Headquarters.
Tap into futsal.
Link in description.
And we're out.
Yo, Dante,